Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for hosting and holding this hearing, and thank you, Register Perlmutter, for your appearance today. What does it mean for human beings to create? In a very real way, this question is the subject of our hearing today. This is not just a philosophical or academic query. It has real-world implications for countless American families and American businesses, and as such, our answer to this question must be reflected in our laws. For well over 100 years, our Copyright Office has protected Americans' intellectual property, and by doing so, has protected American creativity and innovation. That is no easy task. As technology evolves, intellectual property evolves with it. Artists, entertainers, writers, musicians, coders, and creators adapt to a changing world, and unfortunately, so do those who seek to profit by stealing intellectual property or by undermining copyright protections that are a cornerstone of our free enterprise system and a driver of both art and commerce. This committee has deep experience in examining new technologies and determining how our laws must change to acknowledge the role new methods of innovation play in the world. Internet connectivity changed the way writing and art is created and shared. So in 1998, Congress passed the Digital Millennium Copyright Act to change the way we protect creators. When music streaming began, it disrupted our thriving music community of artists, songwriters, publishers, and record labels. Instead of letting it flounder, the Music Modernization Act created new ways to ensure that songwriters are paid for their work. But for creators, for the Copyright Office, and for this committee, the rise of artificial intelligence, or AI, might pose the greatest challenge yet. AI models trained on copyrighted data pose serious intellectual property questions regarding licensing and credit for final products. I'm glad the Copyright Office addressed the question of whether I'm glad that the Copyright Office addressed the question of whether AI in their creations can claim copyright protections, and found that artists can only seek copyright for their human contribution. We all, however, know that this is just the beginning. The European Union is considering finalizing legislation to regulate the use of AI, and it includes regulations governing so-called trustworthy or ethical AI. Other individual nations have also begun to take steps to say how they want AI to impact their citizens' work, play, and create, or how their citizens work, play, and create. The United States, the leader in AI development, stands alone in its silence thus far. We cannot afford to ignore the very real challenges AI presents, even as we enjoy its very real benefits. Missing the moment would set our nation back, and it would harm the artists who call America home. I'm proud to represent the state of Georgia, also known as the Hollywood of the South, where actors, screenwriters, directors, and others live their dream. Georgia is also home to a thriving music industry where artists, songwriters, and record labels live, work, and play. Their work and the work of the ecosystem of creation that encircles television and filmmaking, as well as music, from the crew to the studios, boosts the GDP in Georgia and keeps our state strong. I was glad to see the writers and the studios come to the table and find common ground on many issues, including AI. It's time for Congress to do the same. And just before his death, Robert Kennedy told a crowd that you cannot measure a nation just by its wealth. The gross national product, he said, measures neither our wit nor our courage, neither our wisdom nor our devotion to our country. It measures everything, in short, except that which makes life worthwhile. The Copyright Office protects many intangibles that make life worthwhile, and I sincerely hope that Congress has the courage to protect creators as new technologies disrupt their fields. I would like to thank Chairman Issa for calling this hearing once again. And once again, I'd like to thank Director or Register Perlmutter for being here, and look forward to hearing from you about your agency's work. Thank you.
I thank the gentleman.